And secondly, if two lie down together, they keep warm. But how can one be warm alone? On a cold night like last night, and it may be cold later tonight, it's always nice to have 98.6 next to you. Very nice. Great benefit of marriage. Very cozy. Thirdly, it mentions, and if one can overpower him who is alone, two can resist him. For the things that come against marriage, two can resist those things together. Two are better than one. They're stronger. So when she gets challenged, you can help her. And together you can resist troubles that come into your life. And it ends by saying, a cord of 3 strands is not easily broken. And these are the small strands of the cord. And the main strong strand is Jesus Christ himself. He's the one that will never be broken. And if you'll wrap your lives around him, your marriage will never be broken. Now, Joey, I want to share some responsibilities with you first. You ready?
All right.
First thing is to love your wife. Ephesians 5:25 says, husbands, love your wife, just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. Jesus showed the picture of a servant leader who loved the church and gave his life for them. And God wants you to be a servant leader. Learn how to serve. Jesus said that he didn't come to be served, but to serve and to give his life a ransom for many. And that's what he's trying to do with you. Be a man who loves his wife and becomes a servant leader. Husbands, in Ephesians 5:28, it says, husbands ought to love their wives as their own bodies. The same way you take good care of yourself, you take good care of them. 1 Corinthians 13 lists more than a dozen descriptions of love. Among them, love is patient, love is kind, it does not seek its own, it's not provoked, it does not take into account a wrong suffered. Don't keep accounts. Deal with those things quickly. Believes all things, hopes all things, and endures all things. Love never fails. Love your wife. You can spend a lifetime learning how to love Christine. But start right away. Secondly, understand your wife. 1 Peter 3:7 says, husbands, live with your wives in an understanding way, as with a weaker vessel. Grant her honor as a fellow heir of the grace of life. The opposite sex is a challenge to learn how to understand. I can tell you that after many years. But still, God asks you to understand your wife. In Proverbs 4:7 says, in all you're getting, get understanding. As you go through life obtaining things, whatever they are, get understanding. That's what it's trying to say. And understand your wife. Live with her in an understanding way. This will strengthen your marriage. Thirdly, rejoice with your wife. The neat verse in Proverbs says, rejoice, let your fountain be blessed, and rejoice with the wife of your youth. You're set free to be happy and rejoice and have a spirit of, not a heavy spirit around you, but be a joyful, happy man that you've taken a wife. Rejoice with the wife of your youth. As a loving hind and a graceful doe, let her love satisfy you at all times, and be always exhilarated with her love. That word exhilarated means intoxicated. Though Joey's never known what that's like, to be intoxicated, you can imagine what that's like. To be intoxicated by her love. That also was a joke. You feel free to laugh. Although I've never seen you. There it is. Enjoy one another. Now, a couple more before I just get on to hers. Regarding being strong and taking care of her. The story of Nehemiah chapter 4, it's what occurred was the people were trying to rebuild the walls of their life to protect themselves. And they had enemies. And in that story it says that Nehemiah came and he noticed that the people were afraid. And he told them, he said, remember the Lord who is great and awesome, Joey, and who fights for you. So I want you to fight for your brothers, your sons, your daughters, your wives, and your houses. Be a man who fights for his marriage, for his wife, not with his wife, but fights for his wife and for your house. Don't just be the guy who writes beautiful songs, but be a man who knows how to fight for his wife. I challenge you in that respect. Like a warrior poet, Joyce. Bring out the warrior in you. When there's trouble, you fight for your wife, and you fight for your marriage. And build your house on wisdom.